Hello, beautiful friends. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I am so glad that you're here. I wanted to come on today and share some of my thoughts about joy and why I think it is so important to live a fantastic life. The question that I have for you today is, do you regularly and consistently prioritize joy within your day? I don't think that it's something that we necessarily think about, but I would offer that it is something that we should add to our daily routine, similar to brushing our teeth, because of just how important it is. I did a little bit of research and found that in a 2018 study by Stephen Wolf, he found that for the first time in a long time, America's life expectancy has gone down. And again, remember, this is in 2018, and the article, the information showed that they felt that the opioid crisis as well as feelings of despair were a big, if not the biggest causes of this decline in life expectancy. And if you think about it, this is before the wild ride of 2020, and so unfortunately, those stats are probably higher. There's probably more instances of some of the things that keep us from living as long as we need to be living and living the wonderful lives that I believe we're put on this earth to live. So that's pretty depressing. But what I have to offer you and what I hope resonates with you is that when we look at those stats, we can start to think about the opposite of despair is joy. And joy is something that we can cultivate within our lives. In the next couple of sessions, I'll be sharing more of my thoughts around joy, some of the reasons why we may be limiting ourselves from joy, as well as some practices that you can do to help add joy to your life. But I really want to focus today on the importance of it and how relatively easy it is to bring joy into your life. And one of the things that I found interesting as I was reading through some of these articles is that the same, and I'm no scientist, so I'm probably going to get some of this off a little bit, but the same endorphin receptors that opioids use to create that euphoric feeling in those who use the drug, it's the same endorphin receptors that get triggered when we laugh with other people. So just think about that for a minute. Our ability to find ways to laugh with people is just as effective, if you will, at triggering these positive, good vibe feelings without the negative side effects of opioids. And we have it at our fingertips. We have it available to us at all times. And I don't mean to suggest that every single day you're going to be happy and joyful and laughing all the time, but rather, if you can find ways to include joy in your life, it's possible to remove or eliminate at least some of the despair. And I think that that's the direction that we all need to be headed in. And I think so strongly that it's something that we need to do within our lives. And I think it's an amazing thing that we can also teach to our kids. How do we help them to create a joy practice and helping them to understand the importance of it, just to have their bodies feeling a little bit better day to day. And it may help them to turn away from some of the things like opioids that can call their attention, or those feelings of despair that prevent them from living vibrant lives. Obviously, the exact same thing applies to us. And so that's why I am so anxious to get as much information, as many tools, as many resources out to you guys as I possibly can about how to bring joy into your life. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But I wanted also to call out a definition of joy that I found extremely helpful, and again, highlighting the importance of joy as something that's not just kind of, frou-frou, woo-woo, it's an unneeded extra in your life. It's actually really important. So Neil Samudra puts it in this way. What is joy? He defines it like this. Joy is an internal positivity that is connected to hope. It is a feeling that everything will turn out okay. With joy, you don't have to put on a happy face all the time, but you can be joyful in the midst of the toughest situations. So I'd love for you to really sit to think a little bit more about that and the idea that our ability to be joyful is connected to hope and connected to the idea that things will be okay or can be okay. And I think for a lot of people, that's something that is missing or not something that they really think about. It's hard when you're in the depths of depression or you're in the depths of despair to see a way out. And I believe strongly that making a practice of joy can help with that, as well as put us on a track not to get to that place if it's possible for us. I also want to always put out this disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a licensed therapist, but what I would share with you is that if you are in the lowest of lows, or you know someone who is at the lowest of low points, help them seek out professional help, because we don't want to get to a state where people are living their lives in this kind of way. It's our, my hope that we're helping people in the right ways and directing them to the right professional help when they need it. For those of us who may not need as much professional help or on the outside of that activity, finding ways to be joyful can only do good. I hope this is meaningful and purposeful for you, and that you take something away from it and look for ways to find joy in your everyday life. Again, stay tuned. I'll be coming back with some reasons that we may be preventing ourselves from experiencing joy, as well as some ideas about things that you can do on a daily basis to bring more joy into your life. I love you. I can't wait to see you again. Have a wonderful day. Love, Lisa Owen.